obligation of obligation in shofar. So that's very famous, and because like if you think about it, there is only mitzvah on Rosh Hashanah, like physical, that you have to do. All other, like to do teshuvah, is to say all of these prayers. It's a different story, but physical is shofar. The Gemara expounds verses from the Torah to instruct us to hear 9 shofar blasts on day of Rosh Hashanah. The 9 blasts comprise 3 sets of tekiah, trua, tekiah. Right? Tekiah, trua, tekiah. However, we are unclear regarding the proper way of blowing a trua. It is a 3 medium blasts, trua, 2, 2, 2, right? Many short blasts, right? Shvorim, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So just a quick shofar lesson. So we have one long sound, and it should be long enough, right? So this it would it would fit 3 teruah. So 2 meaning 2, 2, 2, or 9, right? Shvorim, okay, or both 3 medium blasts and many shofar blasts, okay. Shvorim trua. So basically, since we don't know how this sounds, so we try to sound with all different scenarios in order so we cover it. We therefore sound each option, resulting in 30 blasts. Okay. Although the Gemara writes that it is the best to hear 3 blasts during Musaf, when we recite the blessing of Malchuyos, Zichronos, and Shofaros. So three things, three themes on Rosh Hashanah, which is Malchuyos is meaning that Hashem is our king. Zichronos, that we ask him to remember us. Shofaros, sound of shofar. We blow shofar before Musaf as well, to confuse Satan, since he sees our alacrity to perform this mitzvah. Okay, so meaning that he leaves us alone Rosh Hashanah. Baruch Hashem. Continue. So proper to hear on Musaf, but you will also sound the shofar before Musaf. It is widely accepted to blow additional blasts equivalent to 100 in total, as indicated Rosh Hashanah Machzor. So if you see, it's exactly 100 blasts. Women are exempt from a time-bound commandments. Therefore, strictly speaking, they are not obligated to hear shofar on Rosh Hashanah. However, many poskim write that over the generations, women are accepted this mitzvah upon themselves, and therefore now an obligation upon them. So it's very okay. So before we continue, so first of all, just to remind us, almost all of the mitzvahs that's connected to time, bound to time, women are exempt. So the exception with Shabbos because of different reason, as we explained before. I'm not going to repeat. Right, and here shofar, it's exactly a specific time, right? What is specific time? At Musaf time. So of course, so technically she's absolved, right? But women accept it upon themselves. So you see on Rosh Hashanah there are many women that never come on Shabbos. I mean, Yom Kippur is different, so there's no food on Yom Kippur. So of course they're not busy at home like preparing. So that's a different story. But on Rosh Hashanah, of course, there is a big feast after that. But they still come to hear shofar. So and once a person accept upon him or herself, that's meaning 3 times in a row. Unless you say bli neder, I don't want to accept as a neder, as a vow. That's a different story. Now you have to do it unless you want to annul this vow. Okay. Since it is not a Torah obligation for women, it is customary that they are required to hear only 30 rather than 100 or all 100. That's it. Right? So minimum is 30. Once the bracha on shofar has been recited, there should be no talking until all of the blasts are finished at the end of the davening. So you're not allowed to talk. So even though it says 100 blasts, but it's throughout the whole davening, like throughout the whole Musaf source. So it's not right away. So once he said blessing, and this blessing actually he's covering all of us. We're all included in Chazan's blessing. So try your best not to talk. A woman who leaves after hearing the only Torah blast may talk after she has left the shul. So of course, no talking in the shul ever, right? But once she left the shul, she heard her Torah blast, no problem. If one uses the bathroom during Musaf service, that's an issue, which is after the bracha of the Shofar, she should recite Asher Yotzer upon exiting. So Asher Yotzer, meaning the blessing after bathroom, in this case is not considered to be interruption because that's what one must say. But I would say, like, since in many shuls, I would say in all of the shuls that I went over the years, I went to different shuls, they all have a break between Shacharis and Musaf and Rosh Hashanah. Everywhere. Like in some places, 20 minutes, they would do a kiddush, or like, I don't know, 30 minutes, like 15, whatever. So please use this time to go to the bathroom. It's not proper to miss the things. Of course, if you need to go, you need to go. But they always, in all of the places that I went to, they give the break. Continue. Because women are strictly speaking and not obligated in hearing shofar, certain leniency may be allowed for them. Many have a practice not to eat or drink before fulfilling the mitzvah of hearing shofar. And that's for men, needless to say, right? No eating or drinking, right? Before they drink hearing shofar. For a woman, there is more lenient. Therefore, even if the man, if her family have this practice, she might be granted permission to eat, right? If she's weak or whatever. Right? Certainly, a woman who is very hungry, expectant, or nursing would be allowed to eat. That's out of the question, of course. She's allowed to eat. One must be mindful that kiddush needs to be recited before eating. So if she wants to eat, there is no problem, but she must say kiddush for herself, and she's allowed to eat. No problem. So one tip for a man. So if you have a family and young children and they're not going to go to the shul for whatever reason, or you have elderly people that come to your house, so just buy yourself shofar and learn how to blow. It's not so difficult. You go to internet, I can send you links, or you can find the links of kosher people, how they teach, and it's not, of course it's not going to be like on a top level unless you're professional, but it's not so difficult after all. So learn that you can come home and blow shofar for your wife or your kids. That's another solution. Okay, so we can stop here.